Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Full disclosure, none of this partial disclosure bullcrap. Full disclosure. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, full disclosure. Welcome, friends. Let's check out the chat here and see if anyone's here yet. Let's see. I hope you're all doing well this evening. It's a nice, cool evening here over in Wisconsin. And everything else like that. Yeah. Okay. All right, friends. Well, I'm going to put the Zoom link in the chat. And then you can call in if you want. Let's see. This is too big of a thing here. Let's see. Let's see if that'll go. Nope, too many. Trying to get it here, baby. Meeting ID and passcode. No, I think we need that. Let's see if we get rid of that. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to do that separate. Okay, getting it together here, folks. Hold on. There, let's see if that works. Hello, Mud Rabbit, Free Range Brain, GA. Hey, thank you for stopping in. This is great. Having a good old time here in good old Wisconsin. Had a good Father's Day. I'm using one of the lights that I got as a gift, so that is really something special. I want to thank everyone who has contributed lately to the show. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Hello, Mud Rabbit, Free Range Brain, everybody. How are you all doing? Is that okay? You know what? I'm going to put another one of these to the chat here, but this time I'm going to get rid of all of this. There's that. And let's see. And most of this down here. Tell you by your location. Let's see if that works. Nope, too many. There we go. Let's see if that'll work too to get somebody into the chat. If anybody wants to chat about what's going on with disclosure, you know, one interesting thing is that most of you probably heard President Trump in an interview just either today or recently stated very clearly that he never conceded. Do you know what that means? What that could mean? When they say you're watching a movie, wow, we're watching a movie. It's pretty cool. It's all pretty darn awesome. And the normies are waking up right and left. And, you know, a little bit of UFO disclosure would really do well, don't you think? Now, I got a something to show you here, and I hope that this works. Let's see. This right here is, I wonder if that's showing up. One of the Billy Meyer beam ships. And so Billy Meyer is it's his real name isn't Billy, it's Edward Albert Meyer. I had a couple comments in one of the last shows. They want to see more Billy Meyer. We had an explosion off your coast, Mud Rabbit? Oh, they were testing a ship. Oh, I saw that. That's right. Yes. But now look at this UFO here. It's hovering, off in the distance. For some people think that all of his thousands of pictures and videos were all hoaxed, and I just don't believe it. I think that some hoaxed pictures were mixed in to his stuff to water down the good stuff that he really had. So that's my opinion, because this one looks very, very similar to the one I saw, and it definitely was up in the air and flying under its own power, or hovering, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so this is in the Swiss mountains here, and he's got lots of photographs. He's got movies. He's even got a movie of him, footage of him taking a picture of 3 UFOs off in the distance. So there he is, one-armed Edward Albert Meyer. They call him Billy because he reminded somebody of Billy the Kid. I think he lost his arm in Iraq in a bus accident, I believe, back in the 60s. But so yeah, he captures all of these UFOs, and I was always curious about this. It's been going on since the 70s, and there's just so many good pictures that this guy took. There's some very strange pictures as well. We'll take a look at that. Let me see, I'll leave a little chat in here. Hi, y'all. How's that? Oops, the H didn't go. Circling for something over the ocean, huh? Yeah, I wonder what, yeah. Okay, Andrew Haas says, Aaron, do you think they will move forward with UFO disclosure, Project Bluebeam? That's a possibility. That is a possibility, but I had a revelation, folks. I sort of had a revelation. Now, many of you know that at the big meeting that the former Vice President Biden was at, meeting with Vladimir Putin, and many of you know that he gave Putin a list of 16 sensitive areas in the US that he ought not hack with his cyber hacking. This is just bizarre. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that's like telling someone you're playing cards with where all your cards are. I mean, but I figured out why he did it. As stupid as it is, I figured out one of the possibilities. Hear me out. What do you think of this? Let me get your opinion on what you think of this idea. So why would someone do something as stupid as that? I mean, well, you'd have to be pretty stupid. And, I think the former vice president falls under that category, in my opinion. It's my opinion. But someone else is obviously pulling the strings. Someone else told him to give that list to Putin. And here is what I believe is behind it. The military industrial complex, the ones that want constant war. Okay. They said, okay, here, Mr. Biden, give this list to Putin. Tell him this. And so now Putin's got this list. I don't think I think Putin's a very smart man. And so I don't think there's any risk of him really, doing anything with those areas. But the three-letter agencies that have various programs that make it look like they're coming from Russia when they're really coming from somewhere here in the US, getting their nice fat CIA, FBI, or whatever alphabet soup agency you want to call. So then they can say, so they'll go ahead. This is my opinion, my idea. So now the deep state can use their hacking ability and to trace it back falsely to Russia and go after all 16 of these things. Then that can be seen as the red line being crossed and instant war with Russia. That's what I think is the reason for that. What do you guys think of that idea? I haven't heard anybody else think of that. I just thought of that today. Whatever they have planned, it ain't good. It just is not good. Yeah, Mr. Potato Head Biden, I agree. I used to work at Hasbro, and he, well, that's kind of an insult to Mr. Potato Head, because Mr. Potato Head's very bright. He actually ran for mayor of Pawtucket when I worked there back in the big 80s. So that was kind of cool. Don't want to insult Mr. Potato Head. He's an intellectual. This could be the blackout that 17 warned about. Could be. Totally agreed. I thought the same. Oh, Mud Rabbit, you thought the same. Oh, that's awesome. Well, good. Great minds think alike, right? I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this out to my Facebook page. And see if we can get some more friends over here. Right? Okay. Now that's taken care of. Alrighty then. Well, let's go to another screenshot, shall we now? And if you want to call in, if you have anything you want to add to the mix here, here's another Billy Meyer picture. Now this is out of a book, and the book, I got it right here. It's And Still They Fly. See that? And Still They Fly. It's by Guido Moosbrugger. And I think he may have passed away. But it's an interesting book. There's a lot of pictures in it. However, I do think a lot of the pictures in that book are, some of them are planted total fakes. Now, also, you might remember, if you're up on Billy Meyer, that back in the 70s, maybe it was the early 80s, they did a, who was it? A distinguished gentleman in the UFO field. He was a military guy, had a beard. What was his name? Really nice guy. But they did this movie, like a documentary. And what they did against Edward Albert Meyer's opinion, he didn't think they should do this. They had models made and put it on string, fishing line, and with that long bamboo pole, and they photographed Billy holding that. He was very against this, but they were just trying to see if he could hold that, get a picture, and the line not show up. But I just think it was a total ruse to get him, just that one image of him. They could take one frame out and they could discredit him with that one frame. And he knew, yes, oceans in space. Yeah, classic movie. Wendell Stevens. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Celestial Soul. Hello, Celestial. Good evening. Andrew Haas. Hello. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you for all coming. This is great. This is the Truth Quest, the Truth Questers. You guys are the Truth Questers. Hey, I got a new chair. It's a, not much, but hopefully it won't make as much noise as my old chair. My old chair was, it was an old chair. So yeah, I got a new chair. I guess that makes me the chairman. Yeah, you think? Could be. All right. Sopranos fan. Yeah, I hope you hope you appreciate Sopranos fan 11. That I did finally bring up. I saw you post that same sentence over and over and over. That, when is he going to notice? When is he going to notice? I noticed it, but I just didn't want to interrupt and say anything when when Andy or the caller are like on a roll. It's hard to know just exactly when to do that, but I did sneak that in. Wendell Stevens, yes, Wendell Stevens. Hey, Major Facepalm. Greetings. Yeah, how do you like that? Isn't that something else? Alrighty then. Well, we're going to go look for some more Billy Meyer pictures that I have here somewhere. Well, here's the book. And Still They Fly. There's a number of books that have the Billy Meyer pictures in them. Now, another curious, interesting thing about Billy Meyer's pictures and everything is when I saw these when I was a kid, I thought, oh, these are cool, but maybe he's faking it. Well, when Wendell Stevens and them did that documentary, they talked to his neighbors, and they have taken pictures of these things too. So he's not the only one capturing these. His neighbors are catching it too. So it's not just appearing to just him, It's appearing to, it's just appearing. There it goes. Okay, here's something now that's not Billy Meyer, but it's something that Let me stop this. Something that was posted on the intranet, and I grabbed it off the internet. So someone posted this, and I kind of did some enhancement on it. And to me, this looks like not real. This looks like a doll or a puppet or something. I don't know. What do you think? Any opinions on that picture? Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, it's kind of a grainy, kind of fuzzy photo. It's kind of strange looking. I don't know. What do y'all think of that? That's fairly recent. Someone just posted it. You never know about these things, you know? You just never know. Okay, Mud Rabbit. Billy Meyer never impressed you? That's interesting. Phil Schneider and John Lear. Yeah, well, you know, he doesn't. I don't know what you want him to say about the Dulce. I mean, he told you what his personal experience. I mean, isn't that? I mean, that's kind of the idea of the show. It's like to that. He's got such a multifaceted life with so many things to talk about and answer about. It doesn't really make any sense to ask him what he thinks about someone else. I mean, it's totally unrelated to his story. And so, you know, when Andy's doing his show, he wants questions because that's how solid his story is. He can always give the same answer or a very detailed answer. And a lot of times on the show, much more detail than I've ever heard him go into before. He's going into extreme detail. So, you know, I'm very humbled that he's chosen my little channel to host his show. So yeah, Billy Meyer was a kind of a low key guy. He did not want to do the movie. They really had to talk him into it. They had to go, and he put him to work. I mean, Billy Meyer put him to work. He said, you know, we're doing this farm work today. You want to come and shovel dirt, and, you know, and help put up this fence or whatever they're doing that day? He put him to work, and they had to prove that, you know, they were worthy of even talking to. So he put them through the mill. Yeah, it looks like a rubber doll. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, now here's the toes. You might know this picture. These are the toes of the extraterrestrial, alleged extraterrestrial, that was the subject of an autopsy movie that was filmed on film from 1947. And in my opinion, was 100% real. And I've got a lot of reasons for it to be real. I mean, my opinion that it is real to me. You know, there's always new information that could sway, but I'm pretty solid from day one on this material. It's real. And that's why they're trying so hard to come up with an answer. Like 6 toes. Look at those 6 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, look at that. It's a very natural looking foot. You'd love to see Tony Rodriguez and Andrew on the same show. Yeah, well, Tony is one of my Facebook friends, and I always post the link on my Facebook page. So he's certainly welcome to come. I think I may have actually sent him a link once. I can't remember. I do send links to some of my friends. A couple of them have come on to the show. So, Elena Dana's book called Alien Races has 110 races illustrated. Yes, and that reminds me. Let me go grab something here. Where did it go? All right. Okay. All righty then. Check this out. The Art of Close Encounters by Kim Carlsberg. Have you all seen this? I've been wanting to get her onto my show again. I interviewed her years ago. I recently called her, and I want you all to keep her in your prayers because she didn't sound so well when I talked to her. And I'm hoping that she's okay. But this book is fabulous. I got a call. We got a call here on the bat phone. Let's see who it is. Hello?
Hello, Aaron. This is Maxwell Smart, Agent 86. And I saw you on, got your phone number from Tom's site on...
True Reporting.
I don't know what the name of that. True Reporting, yes.
Wow.
And
Maxwell Smart. It sounds familiar. Maxwell Smart.
Yeah, well, you've probably seen the show Get Smart.
Yeah. One of my favorite shows. Yeah. Love it. My favorite. Yeah. So what did you know we were live? Are you calling in to talk on the show?
Yeah, I'm calling in to talk a little bit about my experience with seeing a UFO when I was a young kid. Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. But before you start that, I just want to thank RatX172 for his contribution. Luis Elizondo, born 1972. What are the odds? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So we have a bunch of red pillars in the audience. Red pilled? Oh, I think all of our fam here is pretty red pilled. Wouldn't you guys say? Pretty red pilled, yeah. What do you got? Well, that's good. Well, I'll talk about my story, but probably in a week or so, I'll call you back and give you a real story that you'll have a hard time believing. Okay, I like those kind of stories. I might tell you a little bit at the end of this story, but anyway, it was in 1966. I was a young lad, and my mom and dad and my brother, my sister and I were, we had visitors, and we're in northern Indiana. My sister and I were playing outside, and we usually had to go to bed early, but since we had guests, we were outside playing around in the yard. Mm-hmm. We had the old style Coke bottles set up we had a bunch of sand out in front of the house. We had them set up where you use the beach ball to knock over the Coke bottles like we're playing bowling. Okay. And all of a sudden, the neighbors had a bunch of oak trees on their property, and above the oak trees, about half the height of the oak tree, was a UFO. And so we went out in the middle of the yard, and probably we were about 100 feet from the tree. And UFO was something like half the height of the oak tree above the tree. So it wasn't very far away at all.
Okay.
And it's probably about as wide as one of the oak trees at its widest.
Wow.
So give you an idea of the size.
Wow.
And it just sat there, and it had red and blue and yellow lights around it that were moving, or seemed to move anyway. Maybe they weren't moving; they just coming on and on a sequence or something. But anyway, we sat there and watched this for probably a half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I sent my sister in to go get my mom and dad to come out because they were the guests. Nobody wanted to come out. But my sister stayed inside, which kind of irritated me, but I thought for sure she'd come back out and watch some more. And nothing major happened, except I learned later that evening, I thought I was out there for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half or something like that. And when I went inside, they said, well, my parents were kind of angry. They said, well, where were you? And I said, what do you mean, where were I? I was out in the yard watching the UFO. And they said, well, we came outside looking for you and you weren't there. I said, I've been out there the whole time in the middle of the yard. So I don't know if something happened, you know.
Yeah.
And I was abducted or something. I don't know. Someday I'll go see a hypnotist and see if something happened there. But well, anyway, the next day came and we went to the next door neighbors, and I was just talking with them and asked them if they'd ever seen a UFO and that I'd seen one in their yard the night before. And they said, oh yeah, we've seen them before. And they were like an older couple. They were like, I don't know for sure because I was a kid, but I'm going to guess 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was talking about the UFOs, they said that they had been abducted.
Ooh.
And of course, I didn't know what that word meant. I kind of asked, what do you mean we were abducted? And they said, well, we were taken aboard ship. Wow. And I was, of course, excited by that. And they didn't seem to be afraid. And they said they've been taken aboard the ship a number of times. And I said, well, why was the ship here? And they said, well, it hovered behind their house when it usually came, and it was that they were there looking for something in the hillside.
Wow.
And I asked what they were looking for, and it says they didn't know. I'd asked them over a couple occasions. I asked them over and over again to tell me about the experience, the story, because I was fascinated by UFOs.
Mm-hmm. Now, what did the UFO look like? What shape was it? Was it daytime or nighttime? It was daytime, right?
No, it was not nighttime. It was midnight when I first saw it, around midnight.
Oh, wow. So could you see a shape or?
It was in June. So it was early summer. It gets cool in northern Indiana at night. It's probably in the 60s or 50s.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool out. And it just hovered silently. It looked like more or less a classic saucer shape.
So you could see the shape?
Oh, yeah, you can see the shape.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, clearly. It's not very far away at all.
Okay.
In fact, it's probably the same distance to the UFO, at least the trees, as it was to the house.
Okay.
The Woodbury Bar. You know?
Right. Sure. Wow. Interesting.
And that was probably the most. I mean, I'd seen other lights in the sky before, later in my life. And one time when we were living at this house, my stepfather came to me and said, "Hey, we're going out to. We heard about some UFO crashing in the quarry.
Wow.
Down somewhere, and I want to go. I begged to go along, and he and his brother and I went, to see what we could see.
Wow.
And I know it wasn't too far away. It was probably about maybe an hour away, which is, I'm thinking it was down somewhere near southwest of Lafayette, Indiana, somewhere, that this was going on. And we get there, and they got the whole place is cordoned off. There are police and all kinds of look like National Guard had this quarries around it and whatever. And there was you couldn't get close enough to see anything. So my stepfather and his brother were avid hunters, and they decided they were going to take off. They were going to take off through the woods and get a look. And of course, because I was there and I was young, they said, "Well, we don't want to take you in case there's a problem." So my stepfather's brother had to stay behind and watch me. Well, we were there hanging out for an hour and a half while my stepfather took off through the woods to get there. And when eventually he came back, it took about 2 hours total before he got back. And when he got back, he had a very serious look to his face. And of course, I asked him, "What'd you see? What'd you see?" He says, "I didn't see anything, But the way he said it made me think that he had seen something.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'd ask him various times in life up to death, what he saw, and he wouldn't tell me.
Wow.
Even when he was older, I don't know why that would be, unless someone threatened him.
Oh my goodness. So someone in the chat's asking what year that happened. I'm not sure which story she's talking about, or he.
66 for the first
1966.
UFO sighting.
19.
Yeah, for the first UFO sighting.
Okay.
And when the thing supposedly crashed in the quarry, I think it was about 68 or 69, I'm guessing.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
So 66 and maybe 68 or 69. Back in the big 60s. So in 66.
Well, UFOs were, at one time, Indiana had most sightings of any place in the country. I don't know if that's still the case now. But
wow. I did not know that.
in fact, at that time, the biggest place they were sighted was in Crawfordsville, Indiana.
Okay.
But other than that, I've seen things on and off over the years in the sky, but never anything like that one day. So
Wow.
that's kind of my UFO story.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And of course, I keep up. I'm fascinated by the whole subject matter, and
Oh yeah.
even today.
Yeah, once you see one, you're bitten. I mean, you're smitten and bitten, and you're making mountains out of mashed potatoes and the whole 9 yards. And it's like crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm convinced it had something to do with me, going on to, continuing studying and going to college and all that. I think wanting to understand what I saw, and when you've seen that, when someone tells you it's swamp gas, or you say, they don't know what they're talking about.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You can't erase that from my mind. I know what I saw.
Right. Exactly. You can't. Once you see something, no one can tell you didn't see it because you saw it. And people need to just listen to people's stories and not be hypercritical. It's important to listen to people. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to give you a synopsis of what I'm going to tell you in, I don't know, maybe a week or something.
Okay.
I got this theory. That all of mankind is in a giant training simulator. And just like we all go to school to learn things, and we send our kids off to school to learn things, all of mankind's in a school right now to learn things. And it's like a giant movie. The bad people are playing a role. they're really working for good. They just don't know they're working for good because they're actually training us so that we'll wake up to the reality we're in.
Okay.
And I think we're at a special time in the world where we're about to graduate. And why do I say all this? Well, I found evidence, and anybody remembers back when they talked about there was a Bible code, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be somebody had published a book called the Bible Code or something. Well, anyway, there seems to be a code running through the names of our movies, the names of our TV shows, the names of individuals, all these things that point to Independence Day.
Oh.
And so I've been following it. I see it everywhere, and it's encoded in a variety of ways. I'll give people a jump start here. If I threw out the numbers 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, most of the people out there would probably immediately recognize that that's multiples of 5, right?
Right.
But if I told you 5, 14, 23, 32, 41, 50, and ask if there's a pattern there, most people wouldn't immediately see any pattern.
Right.
But there is a pattern.
Okay.
Those are patterns where all the numbers add to 5.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, there is something significant about that. There's a higher level math going on there. 5 is like the base energy.
Okay.
And the next one up, 14, is like an octave. It's just like the same note, just an octave higher.
Okay.
So it codes for the same number. It codes for 5. Well, it's just like in the same way, you can take 8. The next number up is 17. Next number above that is 26. And then you got 35, 44, 53, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Well, at any rate, there's a variety of ways how Independence Day can be encoded in our reality. You can look at the numbers 774. That's one possibility, or 7/4/1776, or if you want to look at this year's, it's 7/4/2021, for example. If you other ways it can be encoded, you can say, okay, July 4th, 1776, or July 4th, 2021.
Yeah.
Or you got the words Independence Day. Well, I know there's a number of people out there who will be intrigued by what I'm saying, and they'll start to look at things right now, and then they'll discover some things. But here's the one really, the big red pill I'll give you for tonight.
Okay.
What was the name of that movie where the kids are out on the ocean and there's a giant swell coming in, and they what was the name of that movie?
White Squall?
White Squall, yeah. In that movie, they had a phrase they used: where we go one, we go all.
Yeah.
Well, if you add the different digits for the names and whatever, you get something significant.
Oh.
And I'll just go ahead and tell you, if you add the value for the digits for where, you get 59. If you add the phrase we go, you get 50. And if you add 1, you get 34. So 59 plus 50 is 109, plus 34 is 143. And if you add the 4 and 3, you get a number 7. So you got 1, 7. Now let's look at the second part of the phrase. We go all. Well, I just said we go is 50, but it could also be 5 if you add the digits.
Okay.
5 plus 0 is still 5. Okay, so 5 plus all is 25 is 30. And so you got 1730. So for those that might be red-pilled, they might look at the old 1-7 drops.
Yeah, one of the drops.
And they'll see that there's another place where they have the letter associated with 1-7.
Yeah.
And then followed by a space and then 30. And that drop came out sometime after January 6th.
Okay, interesting.
So you say, well, what's that mean? What's that all mean? Well, it's encoded everywhere in those, like I said, there's different octaves. The main octave main energy is 8. And then 1-7 is the next one up, and then 2-6.
Okay.
If you, I'm just going to spill a little bit of it.
Okay.
If you add the digits of Independence Day, you get 98 for independence, and you get 30 for day. So if you add 9 and 8, you get 1-7, and then 30. So it seems like in these drops is encoded as special day.
Wow. You must be a polymath, aren't you? Now, you said your name was Get Smart Anon. Is that what you said?
No. Maxwell Smart, or call me Max.
Maxwell Smart Anon. I think you have to have the Anon in there.
Okay.
But wow,
So.
that's a lot of interesting information you just dropped on us. I'm sure a lot of our other polymaths and diggers are going to dig into this and take a look at some of this.
They're going to go nuts in what they find. There's going to be a buzz like you never see.
Wow.
Just when the people realize what I just gave them, they're going to be searching all of the 17 or the 1-7 drops.
Okay.
And I gave some other clues,
Right. Awesome.
If you want to, I'll spill the beans already, so I'll spill some more.
Oh, he's spilling the beans, folks.
You
heard it here first.
If you add the digits for Jesus, you get 7-4. Could that be July 4th? He said, well, that's coincidence. Well, how about Jesus of Nazareth?
Mm-hmm.
Add that up. And let's just do it. You got O is 15 plus F is 6, so you get, that's 21. Let's do Nazareth. 14 plus 1, 15 plus 26 for Z. 15, 26 is 35 plus 6 is 41. Then you got another A, so that's 32. And then you got R, which is 18. 32 and 18 is 40, 50, right? Then you got an E, which is 55. And then you got a T, so you're now at wait a minute, I got something wrong there.
Yeah, I think you did.
60. I was 60, and then 65. E makes it 65, and then you add a T, so that's 85, and you get 8 plus 85 is what? 93. And you say, okay, big deal, 93. Well,
93.
I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you how at the moment, but that code's for Independence Day. But I'm going to go back to that.
Okay.
Okay. So you had 21 plus the 95 is what? Let's see. So let's say 96 plus 20 is 106, 116. Added to 74, which
116.
is what?
116? 21 and 95?
180. Let's see.
You want 20? You want 21 plus 95?
We did that one. That's
okay.
21 plus 95 is 116.
16. Yeah.
And we're going to add 74 to that.
Oh.
It's 186 plus 4. 100 and, I did something wrong.
190.
Did something wrong, but.
I think it's 190.
Huh?
I think it comes to 190.
I may have added wrong, but anyway, codes for Independence Day. Let's go to Jesus Christ. Let's just start with, the Jesus 774.
Uh-huh.
That's the Christ. I'm going to tell you, every step along the way, everything codes for Independence Day.
Wow.
Okay, so you got 3 plus 8 is 11, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to show you how that codes for Independence Day in itself. You add the R. R is 18. So 18 plus 11 is what? 18
29.
11.
29.
29. That codes for Independence Day, and I'll have to show you how. You add I, which is 9. 9 plus 29 is 38. That codes for Independence Day, and I have to show you how. And the S is 19. 19 plus, I said 38. So it's 48 plus 9 is 57. That codes for Independence Day, and we'll go on to the next one.
Okay.
57, add 20, you get 77. That codes for Independence Day. Now let me show you how some of those. Well, since I've revealed some of this, I will reveal the rest.
Before you start there, some people in the chat are wondering if this is gematria or this is numerology. What is this that you're talking about?
Well, it is. Part of it is numerology, right? But it's not all numerology because there's a higher level math, and the higher level math relates to these octaves, okay?
Okay.
Because just adding things is just numerology, okay?
Yeah.
And this goes way deeper than you think.
So you're saying it's more than using your fingers and toes.
Right. You have more than you know.
Okay. Well, I've heard that before. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
interesting.
There's a lot more involved here in terms of how it relates to the fabric of the universe. Encoded in our reality are these things that are part, and not just in our reality, but in the everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's go 7/4/1776. Leave the 7 alone for now. Leave the 4 alone for now. Go to 1776. Okay, you got the 1 and the 7. Leave that alone. Now take the 7 and 6. Add them together, and you get 13. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got 1713. Add the 4 that you left alone before to that. You get 1717. Right.
Okay.
Now take the 1 and the 7, and you get 8. Plus, and then the other 1 and the 7 is 8. Add 8 and 8, you get 16. And 1 and 6 is 7. Add that to the other 7. First of all, there you get the 7, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that Christ adds up to, right? Now add the 7 and 7 together, and you get 14, which is the base energy of 5.
Okay.
So 14, 5, 7, 7, they're all coding for Independence Day, where you have the digits. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, now, here's something to know. When you have 14, it's equally 41 will code for the same thing. So anything backwards will code for the same thing.
Oh, really?
When I was going through Christ, remember I said 38? Well, 83 codes is the reverse of codes.
Okay.
I said another one, 29. Well, the reverse is 92 in codes, and I'll show you how that's true in a minute. Okay.
We're getting a math lesson here. This is a fun math lesson, though. This is not a boring math lesson. So thank you, Maxwell.
Are people enjoying this, or?
Yeah, they seem to be eating it up. Dark Brain says, I used to dive into the number codes and understand what was being communicated behind the scenes, but I finally got fed up with it. Yeah, it's kind of hard because some of these decoders, they go off into these other areas, especially the gematria. I mean, the word gematria, because there's like 100 different options and they're all completely different. So yeah, it's, but you're talking about something different. I've never heard of octaves in numbers. That's interesting. I suppose it makes sense.
Well, there's going to be a lot more, and some things I'll probably reveal later, or some of the technological implications of it. I won't do that tonight.
Okay. Yeah. Don't overload us here. But we certainly
but
do.
I have to give you a few more of the direct codings. July 4th, 1776. Okay.
Okay.
If you add the values of July, you get 68. 6 and 8 is 14. Okay. Now in place of the 7 that we had before for the month, we put 14.
Okay.
So therefore, we got 1 4, and remember, the last part added to 7. So 147 also encodes for Independence Day, our Independence Day.
Okay.
Now, you can add those or rearrange those digits any way you want. It can be 174, it can be 741, it can be 471.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones you'll use most commonly are 147 or 174. Okay, and I'll show you why. Okay, so needless to say, you could take 74 in that, add the 1, and you get 75. And because the reverse also codes, 57 would be an auspicious number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go now to the 7-4, which is July 4th, right? That's the digit. Jesus added up to 74, right? So 7-4, July 4th. Okay, if you 9 plus any number in this math is the same number. For example, let's take 5 plus 9 is 14, right? Add the 2 together, you get 5 again. And that's true of any multiple of 9. Now, if you guys want a real brain teaser here, if you take all the digits in our numeric system and put it in one number, 98765432110, you get 10 digits, right?
Okay.
There's 10 factorial combinations of those digits, those 10 digits. That means there's 3,628,800 combinations. But if that number I gave you, every combination is divisible by 9.
9. 9.
Now you say, how do you know that? Okay, well, you start out with 9 plus 0, right? And that's 9. And then 8 plus 1 is 9.
Sure.
7 plus
right.
2 is 9.
Mm-hmm.
6 plus 3 is 9. And 5 plus 4 is 9.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've heard
But that's
that.
one you can impress your friends with.
Right. That is a good one. Well, this is great. This is great. I'm glad that I'm glad you found my number. And thanks for calling. Wow. That's awesome.
Now, if you add anything like 9 or 18 or any multiple of 9 to any of these numbers, you can strike it off, right? Because it's the same. It doesn't affect the number. Now, sometimes you want to add it because it will make it easier to decode the number.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you were adding letters up and you got to 27, well, 27 is not one letter. So let's say you add 18, which is R. You'd add it in at first to see if it made sense that way.
Mm-hmm.
And later you could go back and subtract 18 and see if it made better sense. Okay.
Okay.
Now, 83, I said that codes for Independence Day. Well, you can if you shift a number from 8 over to the 3 to make it 7-4, you'll find the difference is 9.
Mm.
So there's no difference in the value. Okay, 83 is identical in value, just a higher octave. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way, 92, you could shift 2 digits from 9 over to the 2, and you get 7-4 again. Well, where you have to remember 147 and 174 also encode for Independence Day. So you could have 75 still codes for Independence Day because it's 174 or 147. It's 74 plus 1. So it's.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'm not confusing people. I'm throwing a lot at you all at once.
Well, I'm very easily confused.
Now, before I said 11 codes for Independence Day. How did I get that?
I don't know.
If you take the 17 that you got from Independence and you add it to the 30 from today, you get 447. And 4 plus 7 is what? 11.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 plus 1 is 2.
Okay.
So those encode for Independence Day where you spelled it out.
Wow.
Now let's go to this Independence Day and how it's unique from 1776. Remember, you said July could code for 14 or it could be 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see the latter part of it. You got 4/20/21. Okay, so 2021, you got 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 5 added to the 4 is 9. So you see, it either codes this. It's got a unique coding, and that 7 encodes for this particular Independence Day.
Wow.
And also 14. So,
interesting. Wow.
go
ahead.
I throw a lot at you.
That's a lot.
7, there's a great show, a great YouTube channel. I recommend any of the awake and check this out because there's multiple things that can help people in our movement to challenge the narratives that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Cosmographia. That's the name of the YouTube channel with Randall Carlson.
Cosmographia.
With Randall Carlson. And if you can search on Randall Carlson and get there. But this guy studies impacts on the planet Earth.
Okay.
And it's very interesting stuff. You'll see how they date ancient impacts to the planet.
Uh-huh.
How they relate ancient impacts to. There's recently with other scientists they found a correlation between, say, cometary or asteroid impacts on the planet and solar flares.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most recent program that I saw anyway. He was talking about the relationship between the size of our hand and our arm
Mm-hmm.
with dimensions of our solar system, for example.
Wow.
Like, believe it or not, one of the dimensions of our arm is related to the distance between the Earth and the Sun.
Wow.
And it's definitely one of those things that will send you down a rabbit hole. Well,
yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you now, I'm leading in a little bit of the future. The fact that there's these relationships exist is because of the higher level frequencies, the octaves that I'm talking about.
Wow.
So
interesting.
I have to go into that another time, but
yeah,
I'm giving you a heads up. So these relationships encode throughout our universe. I'll give you one example, a quick example. The speed of light is 186,000 miles per second, right?
Yeah.
If you take 1,000 times that, you get 186 million miles per second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the distance roughly from our sun to Earth is 93 million miles.
Yeah.
Which is half of that. So it takes 500 seconds for the light of the sun to reach us.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there should be a number like that simple,
Wow.
encoded into the reality. That's not the only example, okay? A furlong is 1/8 of a mile.
Okay.
Okay.
But by the way, I hate to
660 feet.
I hate to interrupt you, but I just got to say that you might not be looking at the TV or the internet right now, but I put a picture, did a little sleuthing and found a picture of you on your little shoe phone. So we're watching that as you're talking. So just so you know.
Well, that's not me. I can't take credit for that. I just using that name.
Okay.
And by the way, the purpose for using that name, if you guys are have figured out what I'm doing, every aspect of what I told you, there are at least 3 separate examples in Maxwell Smart and Max for short,
Okay.
and Agent 86. There's at least 3 codings in there for Independence Day.
Wow.
Okay, so I chose that for a reason.
Interesting. Wow.
So I'll let you figure that out, but something to do at home.
That's fantastic. Wow.
But the furlong of 660 feet, and it just so happens that the speed of sound is 660 feet per second. So 1 furlong, or 1/8 of a mile, it takes a second. So that's why when you see a lightning flash, if you count 8 seconds, that's a mile away. But
Okay.
that's coded right into our reality. So
Wow.
anyway,
Interesting.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. Well, just lest you think that only Christ's name or good people's names encode for this reality. Take Osama bin Laden. I can tell you Laden adds the 36. Bin, we can do that right now. 2 + 9 is 11 plus 14 is 25. Okay? That is an auspicious number because it adds to 7. Remember, that codes for this Independence Day. Osama, I got 15 + 19 is 25, and 9 is 34, which is auspicious. Then you got A, 35, and then you got 13. 35 and 13 is 48, right? Which is 84 backwards, which is also codes for 174.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then you got A. So what were we up to? Let's see.
I don't know. I wasn't writing it down.
Well, that's not counting. 48 for 49. Okay.
Yeah.
49 plus the bin, which was what? Anybody remember on a bin? Let's see.
2
and 11 and 14, 25. 25 and 49 is what? So 49 plus 20 is 69 plus 5 is 74.
74.
The same as Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Same as Jesus.
Wow.
So all of our reality is encoded with these numbers in it. And I say it's the day of humanity's independence.
Interesting.
Just like we have been told that we're watching a movie. It's the best movie ever. Because who would imagine a more perfect ending than our liberation from debt slavery, from human slavery, from information slavery, than Independence Day? And just like the movie, who would imagine that our own Independence Day could encode for the Independence Day for humanity?
That's pretty cool. Wow.
And so, and those people that are the evil amongst us don't even know they're playing the role.
I bet
they don't know they're playing the role of the greater good, because without them, we would not be awake.
You need.
Remember, with the law of one, we all were there before. We were all played the bad guy.
Yeah, and you have to have darkness so that you can discover your light.
and shine it. Because without darkness, you would never know, you would never
In fact, you can
the light.
more things you can do. Darkness into light encodes
Right.
Independence Day.
Oh, wow.
Everything, almost everything in our reality encodes in one way or another. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. And the only way that's possible if the highest level consciousness is involved, the God. And if you add the digits for God, you get 26, which is the energy of 8, just like 1-7 is.
Wow.
Oh, unless you think we're not picking on the Muslims, take Allah. You got 1 plus 12 is 13, plus another 12 is 25, right? Plus A of 26, and H, 26 plus 8 is 34, which is 7, which codes for this Independence Day.
Wow.
Now, cosmography, this last episode, talks about some unique numbers. 37 and its reverse are supposed to be bad numbers.
Okay.
Okay, they're not really bad numbers. They just, remember, even bad is serving the greater good. It just shows the relationship. 111 is 3 times 37. So you just add the digits. 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's 3. It's 3 times 37.
Mm-hmm.
2 is 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6 times 37. 3 is 9 times 37. 4 is, 16, 12 times 37. 666 is 18 times 37. Now, Randall reveals that these numbers all had meanings in the old days. 777, which is 21 times 37, was one of the particularly auspicious numbers, and it related to divinity. Anything divine, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, 888, which was 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is 24 times 37, is the number that encoded for God.
Wow.
So.
And dog.
Anyway. And dog, yeah. So. But anyway, I'm throwing a lot of stuff at people, and they're probably they probably like it, but they're probably head spinning a little bit.
Well, I think you're going to have a lot of people watching old episodes of Get Smart to phone up on your information.
Well, remember the sidekick was, what's her name?
99. Yep. He was 86.
But there's encoding, the cone of silence encodes for 17.
Wow.
You'll find that. I'll let you find that out yourself and how it does. I think it's 71, which is reverse. So let's take some others. Anybody watch the Heroes and Icons Network?
Heroes and
Icons. You can see some ads on there for Baywatch.
Okay.
There's one that says, suit up, comma, slow down, comma, and watch. And then finally, Baywatch.
Wow.
Well, those first 4 sections all encode for Independence Day in 4 different ways.
Wow.
It's as if God is saying, hey, look here, I'm trying to show you. You're not just imagining this.
Wow.
Just take suit up. You got 19 plus 21 is 40. Plus I is 9. So 49 plus T is 20. So you got 69. Okay? That's for suit. Up is 21 plus 16, which is, I think, 37, if I got that right. 37 plus 69 is what? Let's see, you got 37, 60.
I should be writing this down. 37.
No, it's 106. You say, well, that doesn't code for, yes, it does, because you add the 1 and the 6, you get 7. which encodes for this Independence Day.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay, now you go to the next one. Slow down. You can add that quickly. You got 19 plus 12 is let's see, 29 plus 2 is 31 plus 15, which is 46, and then W is 23. 46 and 23 is 69 again.
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting, right?
Wow.
And then down, you got 4 plus 15 is 19. 19 and 23 is 39 plus 3 is 42. And then 42 plus 14 is what?
Let's see, 6.
50 plus 4, 56, right?
56, yeah.
At 56 and 69, and what do you get? Let's see. 125. Say, well, how's that in code? Okay, you got the 1, add the 2 and the 5 together. What do you get?
7. 17. There you
Which
go.
I showed you before is what you get when you add the digits of independence.
Wow.
Okay, and that's good. The third one, and watch. You got 1 plus 14 is 15 plus 4 is 19. That's for and. Watch. You got 23 plus 1 is 24 plus 20 is 44 plus 3 is 47 plus 8. 47 plus 8 is 55, right? So 55 and 19 is what? 65 plus 9 is what? 74.
74.
74. Okay,
Wow.
now the last thing, Baywatch. We already know watch is 74, so right. So we got Bay to add to it, right? So we got 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 25. 25 and 3 is 28. Well, 28 plus 74 is 94 plus 8.
102. Oh, yeah, I'm messing up. Oops.
Let's see, somehow I've messed up here. Just make sure we got that right.
28 plus 74. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, that's what I said, I think.
28
Did I add it right? Wait, what?
12. 102. 102.
25 plus
28. And you said
26,
28.
7, 28. 102. Well, that's 3. And that's a suspicious number, but I remember it. I can't remember, but I remember in terms of God.
Okay.
But, you know,
That's
Father,
okay.
Son, and Holy Ghost. But
Well, that's interesting that you mentioned Baywatch, because right before you called in, I was holding up this book by Kim Carlsberg called The Art of Close Encounters. And inside is a bunch of different experiences or art of what they saw. And I think this is actually one of hers. But it's a beautiful book. There's lots of beautiful pictures. But now she has a Baywatch connection. Her boyfriend, her former boyfriend, was a lifeguard, and he wrote a screenplay, and the screenplay ended up being Baywatch. And Kim Carlsberg was the official photographer for the show. In fact, she was the first female official photographer for a show. So, yeah.
Wow. Oh, I know how it encodes for Independence Day. You have 102, or you can look at it as 10-2, right?
Okay.
So in order to get 7-4 or something close, take 3 digits from 10 and add it to 2. And what do you get? You get 7-5.
Okay.
Remember, 7-5 is 174, which is a 147.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to 147 from July, added to 14, and then the 7 was the last part. Okay. So I'm just trying to show you that that's 4, just in that one thing was encoded 4 different ways of representing Independence Day.
Okay. I have to admit, I don't follow you exactly, because I don't have a I don't have a very mathematical mind. And I blame that on my Casio. I blame that on my Casio calculator watch.
Are the other people having trouble following this, or?
Let's see. It reminds me of Serial Brain. Shaquille O'Neal was born in 72. Let's see. Sounds like you assign numbers. So it sounds like you assign numbers. Mud Rabbit says, sounds like you assign numbers. A equals 1, B equals 2, etc. Yeah.
Yep.
Then you add them up and keep adding the digits until you get the one digit. I think that's.
Yes, but there's this thing where 21 is equivalent to 12 because it's separated by a multiple of 9. Okay, they're just higher octaves of the same note.
Okay.
If you look up the mathematics, it would suggest these higher octaves are actually a doubling of frequency.
Okay.
If you look at the mathematical terms, I mean, in terms of the.
Well, I have to admit, I have an uncle who's very intelligent. He's a doctor of mathematics. He's taught at university. He's very smart. Dr. Lynn Irby. My uncle is a doctor of mathematics, but I'm not even a nurse of mathematics. So,
I haven't got into the deep parts of the math yet.
Oh boy.
But each number, each energy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, have different patterns, right?
Okay.
Like one is,
Sure.
1 times 2 is 2, right? 1 times 3 is 3. So the pattern is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That repeats.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then you get 10, which is 1. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's its pattern. What is 3? 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 is 3. So pattern of 3 is 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9 ad infinitum. Okay, what is 4? 4, 8, and 12 is actually 3, right? And you go on and figure that out, And then let's go to 5. What's 5? This might sound familiar to you if you search in an old post. If they were telling you something, 5 times 2 is what? 10, which is 1. 5 times 3 is what? 15, which is 6. Well, 5 times 4 is 20, which is 2. So 5, 1, 6, 2. That was represented in one of the posts. 5, 1, 6, 2.
Wow.
Okay,
awesome.
Go look at it. You have more than you know.
Awesome.
That's coding for the energy of 5. Okay, well, let's go 6. What does 6 do? 6 times 2 is 12, which is 3, right? 6 times 3 is 18, which is 9. So what 6 does is 6, 3, 9, 6, 3, 9, 6, 3, 9, 6, 3, 9, over and over again. Now what about 7? 7, and you get it, and then 2 times 7 is 14, which is 5.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 times 7 is 21, which is 3. Mm-hmm. So it goes 7, 5, 3, 1. And then I think it's 8, 6, 4, 2, 9, 7, 5, 1. You see the pattern it makes?
Okay.
Everything in our reality is made by the combination of these patterns. Okay, now
sure.
8. What does 8 do? 8 times 2 is 16, which is 7. 8 times 3 is 24, which is 6. 8 times 4 is 32, which is 5. So 8 goes 8, 7, 6, 5. That was in one of the posts too. It had 8, 7, 6, 5, and people. It was right around.
Mm-hmm.
It was right around I think January, and people were saying it's a countdown to something. No, it wasn't a countdown to something. It was the energy of 8, which is the energy of God, and it's the energy of our movement.
Wow.
Represented by 1, 7.
That's
okay.
Awesome.
And the 3 letters that encode for it are, of course, 8 is H, and then the number corresponding to 1, 7, and then finally Z. So
Wow.
Anyway, just throwing all this out to people.
Well, that's incredible.
They're going to grasp some of it, and
Yeah.
I'm sure this is going to cause a buzz through the whole movement. As people go out and say, "Did you hear? Did you hear?" And they'll be looking through all the drops again, which is what I want them to do. This is part of our awakening. I want you to see. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. It's encoded in our very reality. And how can that be? Why would this day be encoded in all reality? Ask yourself. It's because it's when we wake up, that's our liberation. And I contend, and I don't know this, there's no way to prove this, that just what if our Independence Day encodes for the Independence Day of every civilization just before they rise to the next level?
Could be.
Because it's encoded in the fabric of our universe.
I think that could be very true because, you take even just sound waves and they get geometric patterns. What's a geometric pattern? It's a numerical thing. It's numbers.
Right.
Wow. Fantastic.
Well, they say our brain cells are encoded with binary, that the actual structures are encoded with binary. But there's other patterns that, when combined with that, might give a unique structure. Now, I can tell you this mathematics I'm talking about, I definitely can relate it to genetics, to the fabric of the universe. And think of, I'll give people another rabbit hole if they like doing this stuff.
Okay.
Go look at the Fibonacci series and add the numbers together and see if they don't give something that's non-random. The deep state type scientists like to tell us that everything's random. There's no order in the universe, meaning what they're trying to say, there's no creator, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what they're really trying to say, right?
Yeah.
And they use randomness as the reason. They say it's random. Well, if you look at Fibonacci series, you'll discover that's not random. Because if it were randomly distributed, there would be no difference in the frequency that any one number appeared, right? They'd all be roughly equal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at the same thing with the prime numbers. You don't have to go very far to prime numbers to find out they're definitely not random, which means there's a pattern there if we can distinguish it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I've distinguished it yet, but I'm going to tell you that it's not random. I'm hoping the
pattern isn't plaid, because I just don't like plaid so much.
You got some great jokes.
Well, thanks. You're one of the few people that thinks so, and that keeps my hope up.
Sometimes they're pretty corny, but they take you by surprise.
Yeah. They take me by surprise too, believe it or not. Well, this has been an incredible call. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that you found my number on the intranet and called in. And I look forward to hearing from you again sometime. I hope that
well, like I said, to go out and spread the word, first of all, go down the rabbit hole. Each of you go down the rabbit hole and look at it and convince yourself. I mean, I can give you other things. The name Monk, that show codes for, I think it's 83, I think it codes to.
Okay.
Which is, I think, the show numbers is 92, I think, which encodes also for 74. House is, we'll just do the house, just show you. There's 8 plus 15 is 15 is 23. Okay. 23 and 21 is 43 and 1, 44. 44 and 19 is 54 and 9, which is 63. And finally 5 for E. 63 and 5 is 68. 6 and 8 is 14.
Wow.
One of those things that encodes directly for Independence Day. And you'll find this. I did it, you got the 30 dozen, so many different shows. You got, if anybody's watched The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon always goes to the door and knocks Penny, and then knocks 3 times Penny, and then Penny. If you translate that, it's 7-4-7-4-7-4.
Wow. Well, you're getting lots of love from the chat here. Mud Rabbit says thank you, Maxwell, and Julie says thank you, Max, and a big and a little heart. Isn't that nice? That's
but look at these phrases, the ones that stick. Oh, let's see, 8675309. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody remember that?
Oh yeah.
Do that. What? 86 is 14, and you got 7, so that's 147. There's one of those suspicious numbers. You might not recognize it, but it's 174. Rearranged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then what's 5309? Add 5 and 3. What do you get? 8. And then you got 9, and you get is 17.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what's the person's name in that song? Anybody know? Jenny?
Yeah, Jenny.
10. Okay, J is 10, E is 5, 15. 2 N's is 28. 15 and 28 is what? 35 and 8 is 43. And then 43 and 25 is 63 and 5, it's 68, which is 6 plus 8 is 14 again.
Wow. We have a very astute member of the chat here. Julie mentioned Jenny before you said it. So that's interesting.
So just look at all these different things. You find that the things that stick out in any of these shows, a phrase. I mean, there's things like, oh boy, or gee whiz. They all encode for,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
they all encode for Independence Day. And it's just everywhere. Like, I was watching Charlie's Angels on television, and they had a license plate, and the license plate had 3 numbers and then 3 digits or whatever. And when you did that, you got Independence Day.
Oh boy.
It's everywhere. I'm telling you, it's everywhere. And so some part of me thinks that our brain sees these patterns. It's part of the awakening. It wakens us up.
Mm-hmm.
And probably one of the reasons we wake up faster when we get a certain technological level. Of course, we're seeing these things all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I contend that our ascension, ascension has occurred many, many, many times on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
The previous time was the Anunnaki, and I contend that they were at the level that we're about to move to, the level 4 from level 3. And I'm going to give you bonus material here.
Okay.
I contend we're in this level of our existence. We're in what I call the economics of scarcity, getting ready to move into the economics of abundance. And that abundance comes about because we're going to have access to the infinite resources of our solar system, let alone our galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we have been living in the technological age of the electron. And according to the physics, there are 2 other partners like the electron. There is the muon, which is 210 times the mass of the electron.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the tau, T-A-U, which is 1,776 times the mass of the electron. Isn't that interesting?
Wow, 1776. I like that number.
Now add 1776. We got the 1 and 7 is 8, plus 7 is 15, plus 6 is what? 21. Add the digits, you get 3. What does 210 add to? 2 and a 1 is 3. You know, so there's a lot of relationships that occur over and over again. Anyway, so I'm claiming our next level, when we move to it, is going to be based upon the use of the muon. And that's for a later discussion.
Okay.
The technologies I've already identified, the muon laser, for example, how muons factor into how to create anti-gravity, so on and so forth. So
interesting. Wow. Well, what a treat to hear from you, Maxwell. Maxwell,
Here's some things
Mr.
for you
Smart.
guys to start researching. Two-dimensional superconductors.
Okay, 2D.
Because a superconductor that's two-dimensional doesn't interact with the layers above and below it. And as a consequence, it can't dissipate energy. And because of that, it can exist at much higher than room temperature. Okay, so anyway, I'm giving you, and there is a book out there that the archaeologists have discovered, what's the name of that? That book was discovered in Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
I had a brain
Oh,
fart.
you mean the Voynich manuscript? Voynich manuscript?
No. The book talking about going into space. The Bible.
Enoch? Book of Enoch?
Enoch. The same guy who discovered the Book of Enoch found another book called The Revelation of Adam.
Oh.
And he says every time he's put it forth to someone would steal it or remove it, and someone doesn't want us to know about this. Well, the Revelation of Adam, there are some parts of the text out there on the internet for you to find unless they've been scrubbed. But Adam is revealing to his children why and how man was created. And one of the things he says, some of the things he says, when the watchers mated with the daughter of man, there were two results. One was giants. The second was a being with supernatural powers. Guess which one we are? We're not the giants.
Hmm.
And it says that it literally says, we have a golden soul. Now you say, well, how can that be? Is it reality? I say our soul is related to a 2D monatomic gold in its trans-dimensional state.
Okay.
This is the technology that's being hid from us. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, research David Hudson Ormus.
Right, David Hudson.
And specifically listen to where he's describing the experiment where he puts it in this pan and he heats it up, and all of a sudden he looks back and the pan's empty.
Mm.
And then he heats it up some more and it reappears in the pan.
Mm.
Anyway, so when we alter gravity, we alter time.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, so I better not go there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
People are ready for that.
Thank you so much, Maxwell Smart, Mr. Smart. You're definitely
going, Mac.
Okay, Max. Thanks, Max. Looking forward to hearing from you again.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay, well, have a good night.
Thank you.
So I hope I haven't upset everybody's world too much, but go look it up and you'll come to the conclusion that we're in a simulator for our benefit. This is all about us maturing enough to ascend to the next level, and we're all going to experience that within a few years. Our graduation day comes, I think, on this Independence Day. That's when we earn our stripes. Now we're going to have to live a few more years where this stuff gets resolved, but that's what I say is going to happen, and it's encoded in the drops.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are going to find things in the drops that I haven't even mentioned. Right. Like, I'll give you another one. There's three phrases where it says the world is watching,
mm-hmm.
and then there's something after that.
Mm-hmm.
The world is, when converted, is 7. Watching is 4. So 7-4 again.
Okay.
Anyway, there's more and more everywhere.
Sounds like it. Wow.
We're being told, people were despairing and saying, well, why hasn't anything happened? I hope you all understand that this was supposed to happen this way so that they could be caught. We've been told all along that they're going to steal the election. I shouldn't say that. I won't say that. I won't say that because you only did your platform. We've been told that something was going to happen bad.
Well,
something bad was going to happen, and it did. but they knew it was going to happen.
Right.
Because they knew it's going to happen because that's the only way you can catch them. You got to let them do the crime.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And that's what's happened. So I'm telling you why and the date. So you can take it or leave it. So.
All right. Well,
Have a good night.
Thanks, Max.
So,
have a good night. Thank you.
welcome.
All right.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, friends. That was interesting. What an interesting guy. Oh, you know what? Oh, uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to copy this. Well, let me see. Go back to here. Well, I hope that you all liked that call. I sure did. It was very interesting. Although a lot of math like that, it's a lot for me. Okay, I don't have my Casio computer watch anymore, so I can't do math the way I used to. But yeah. Here's a funny story about my uncle. My uncle, who's a doctor of mathematics. Now, when I was a little kid, we had to fill something out at school, and the question was, "Who's your family doctor?" I thought, well, that's obviously Dr. Lynn Irby. I mean, he's doctor of mathematics. He's in our family. And I wrote that down, and well, they kind of figured it out. I didn't know. Hey, family doctor. He's a doctor in our family. So that's what I thought. Little did I know. Little did I know. Okay, now we're gonna screen share something here again. Here's a curious picture of the towers on the moon. Maybe, I don't know if you've all seen this before, but it's towers on the moon. Now, what do you think of that? That's a pretty incredible picture. I mean, it's not the greatest picture, but it's a pretty good picture. Yeah, it's kind of fuzzy, but now this might have been from the Russians, because the Russians found towers on the far side of on the moon, and they didn't keep it from their people. They told their people, "Hey, what a novel idea, telling people what you discovered. Isn't that why they're going there?" So the Russians got that part right. And the Russian people were treated to that. Isn't that lovely? I think that's fantastic. Oh, it's not. There it is. Yeah, it definitely looks like something. It looks like a tower, a couple towers, a couple huts or something. Very strange. And then another one of my favorite pictures is from Apollo 16. The Apollo 16 mission, and this is what they found on the far side of the moon. They took several pictures of it. And let me see if I can make that a little bigger. You can see the number there of the picture. I pulled this right off of the NASA website years ago. It's not available anymore. So, but I'm glad that I grabbed it. But now look at that. This looks like, it does not look like its surroundings at all. Okay. This looks very interesting. Also, this almost looks like kind of like a skull, some kind of a gigantic skull. But this is 3.5 miles long. It's very long. And it looks like a derelict spaceship or some kind of train or some kind of vehicle. But it's sitting there in this crater. And was that like an opening to an underground base, or was it shot and landed there? No one really knows. And of course, they sent Apollo 20 to go look at it in 1876. And then, as you may know, William Rutledge released a lot of footage that he shot from that mission. And it's just an incredible story. And to give you an idea of the size of this massive thing, and I've showed this before too. Here's the that spaceship. And that's how massive it is. It's just gigantic. And when they went to go look at it, it was so big they couldn't really explore the whole thing, because it was just so big. It was too big. So if the world was set up the right way, we would have known about this, number one, from Apollo 16, and number two, from the 1976 secret mission, Apollo 20. We should know this. And, imagine the History Channel doing, like, you could do a 10-year expose on this and still have, it's so gigantic. I mean, incredible. This is what we're missing out on, people. We're missing out on real information. And it's up to us. Yes, a crashed ship. Tic Tac ship. No, this is bigger than that Tic Tac ship. That thing was very small. Oh yeah, you wonder if my uncle is Rh negative like me. I don't know. But both of my parents are negative, so very good chance. The color max was interesting, and I could follow to a point due to my ADD. LOL, celestial soul. Yeah, I know. Me too. Yeah, it's you run out of fingers and toes after a while to count. So I understand completely. Michael Collins knows the truth about the dark side of the moon. Far side, actually, it's, because it's not always dark, but it's always far. Wish his information was more available. Yeah, Michael Collins, I'll have to look into him. Michael Collins. Michael Collins, I'll look into that. But yeah, that's that ship. I mean, it's incredible what they have there. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Very mind-blowing. Do you want to see a t-shirt design I did a few years back? Here's a t-shirt design I did, okay? For the local people here in Wisconsin. And, they like to fish out here. And Wisconsin is known for what? For cheese and dairy, right? So there you go. Oops. Is it on there? Let's see. Yeah. What is that? That ship is huge. Yes. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, 72. Yeah, Rat. That's right. Everything correlates. See that? They're fish, but they got udders. See that? Isn't that neat? That's a little t-shirt design I did years ago. Yeah, you fish Wisconsin, that's what you're going to get, okay? Especially if you're fishing near the power plant, right? The nuclear power plant. Might just do that. You might just do that. Well, thank you all for hanging out here and having fun. Now, here's something else that is a very interesting thing that I like to talk about, and that is the elongated skulls. The elongated skulls. You know, some of them, like this one, have hair still on them, some flesh. So that's very interesting. They have a different structure of the bone of the head. The sutures are different. They have a different number of plates. They have kind of openings in areas at their skull where we don't have openings. So they're a different species, and this is not cranial deformation. It's not cranial deformation because when you bind a child's head so that it grows in a certain shape, it doesn't change the interior volume. Okay, so the volume of these skulls, in other words, the brain cavity, is like 30% bigger than ours. So you can't bind a head and grow more than a normal human. No, that wouldn't happen. That just wouldn't happen. Okay. Oh, Michael Collins was the astronaut who circled the moon on Apollo 11. Okay. All right. Yeah. What do you think about these skulls, guys? I mean, they're doing some DNA studies on them. Brian Forrester, really interesting guy, does some great videos. Yeah, I've always been fascinated by these darn things, you know? I like that. A mystery. Mysteries are always interesting to me. Very, very interesting. And here's some more elongated skulls. And from different areas, as you can see. They found these things all over the place, and there's not just a few, there's hundreds, if not thousands of them. So what are these? Are these the Nephilim? You know, I don't even like saying Nephilim because I don't know. It reminds me of Sitchin, and I just don't. I don't buy most of his story. But yeah, Bolivia and Hungary. So these characters went all over the planet. They were huge, very intellectual, large brains, very heavy skulls. Yeah, very interesting stuff, you have to admit. 2 rows of teeth. Yes, I've seen the giants with 2 rows of teeth. Can you imagine that? I mean, you're going to be a dentist. I want to be a dentist, but I'm not going to see any of those double layered, you know, double rowed teeth people, you know. Wow. Think about your dental bill for that. How do you floss those? I mean, flossing's going to be like, you have to be like, do like a slalom with the floss, right? Okay, Soprano Fans 11 says, RH negatives fascinate me. There's such a small percentage of people on Earth, supposedly. Yeah. Also, they can't always successfully breed with RH positives. Right. Yeah, both my parents were negative. So I'm AB negative. Which, you know, I'm told is the rarest. I guess that goes with my last name, Moriarity. Moriarity. The dad jokes. See, that's got to be in my DNA, is the dad jokes, right? Yeah, it's definitely, it's dad jokes. That's for sure. I want to show you something that's kind of cool. This is an image that I made. I call them the mirror images. It's where I take an image, in this case, an image of a close-up of Jupiter, and I duplicate the picture, and then I flip one of the pictures over and half tone it, and then put them back and make them go back and forth till these very beautiful designs emerge. They're all symmetrical, and then I adjusted the color on this to make it kind of a purple, and it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. It's very soothing to look at. You can find different things within this. Anything from the planet Jupiter. Oh, look at the bottom. It looks like two elephants with their you know, I can't see it here. Trunks kind of crossing each other. I wonder if you could see that. Yeah, AB negatives is the rarest blood, and I don't give blood because I've never given blood, and I never will, because I'm always using every drop. I'm using it, you know? I mean, when I go to the doctor, sometimes they have to take some out. It's like, when are you going to put it back in? I missed that blood already. You didn't use it all. Put the rest of it back. Come on. Come on, come on. It was mine. Give it back. I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinks that there just takes extra blood just to give to sell to the vampires and the whatnots, you know? Yeah. Sopranos fan, blood type rarity, Moriarity. Yeah. My blood would be highly valued. Well, it's not for sale. I mean, I'm always using it. I'm always just like, you know, I'm using all my organs, you know, I'm using them. Of course, there's that Monty Python skit where they come, they want his organs. He's still alive. We're come for your organs, or one or two of his organs, your gallbladder or something. I'm using it still. Very funny. Yeah. Yeah. Negative blood is higher in copper than I think it's, you know, Rh positive blood is more iron based, right? Whereas, now I'm not sure if this is true, but I've heard that negative blood is more copper based. And that's why, you know, the Royals, I think they have O negative, but they call them blue bloods because the veins in the wrist are blue. See how blue mine are? I don't know. Most people's are, but I don't know if that's a difference or not. Yeah, you know, I've heard, Julie, I've heard that, yeah, oh, it's healthy to do it. But isn't that isn't that something that a vampire would tell you? Oh, come on, it's for the good. Yeah, give your blood. Give blood, 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 blood. I don't know, man. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And I'm using my blood. Okay. I don't know. It's just a thing with me. I can't see. no one needs my blood because someone with that blood can take any other blood, I think. Spock had copper blood. Interesting. Oh, you know, when Spock did this, do you know where he got that idea? Anybody ever heard that story? Because he had this live long and prosper, you know? Not that one, not that one, that one. Okay. So he admitted where he got that idea from. It was, I think, when he was a kid. When he was a kid, he was at the synagogue, and the rabbi told everyone to close their eyes. He was going to pray for them. And when everyone closed their eyes, he held his hands up like this, you know, both of them, over the crowd. And Leonard Nimoy took a sneak peek, and he saw this, and it stuck with him. So when they were trying to think of some hand signal for, you know, for the Vulcans to do, he remembered that. He said, hey, how about this? So that's where that comes from. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? The Masons. Yeah, even the jars are Masons. Think about that. Too little iron makes you anemic. You know, I don't take vitamins. This is not health advice. It's just what I do or don't do. I don't take any vitamins. I really don't hardly eat very much. I drink coffee. I drink water. I eat fruit, and I eat different things. Nano from Mork from Ork. Yeah, I never really liked that show. That Robin Williams as an alien. I couldn't get with it. Alf was much cooler, I thought. Alf was pretty cool. Very strange, but kind of cool. Spaceballs, Vulcan. Neck bench. No, I don't remember that. That's okay. I haven't seen too much of that kind of stuff. Too much iron in the blood causes heart attacks. Well, you know, I have an extremely low blood pressure, and that's one of the things about negative blood people. They don't have high blood pressure. It's so, you know, I used to work at this dealership, GM dealership up here, Chevy, Buick, Cadillac, and there was a guy there who was obsessed with checking everyone's blood pressure, because I think he had high blood pressure, and he was trying to, you know, keep watch of his own blood pressure, but he wanted to find out everybody's blood pressure. So every time he checked me, I was like the lowest of anybody. Like, whoa, how come it's so low? Like, well, you try not to let things stress you, for one thing. You fell asleep in the theater for Spaceballs? That was a hilarious movie. I don't know how you could fall asleep with that, but sometimes you're so tired. Oh yeah. Your mom was so. Diane Rain one. Hello, Diane. She says my mom was anemic, gave herself a B12 shot, and cooked liver and onions for herself for a week. Well, I wouldn't be able to do the liver part because I'm a vegetarian. That's my own personal choice. It's been almost 20 years now. What kills vampires? I missed that part of that one. Interesting. Blood pressure runs low. Yes. Rh negative blood pressure runs low. Yes. And I found that out. I didn't even realize that until, this guy at the dealership subjected me to this blood pressure thing. He was just dumbfounded. I can't believe it. You're never high. Your blood pressure is never high. What's going on here? I don't know. One thing to help your stress is that song, Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's ours to see, Que sera, sera. So you're asking Sopranos friend 11, Aaron, you think your Rh negative comes from French royalty or Irish side? Well, I don't know. Both my parents are negative. So my father, on my father's side, it's, Irish, German, a bunch of different things. Even Swedish, I think. My mom's side's French. So, I get French and Irish. So, it could be probably from both. I would say both. And maybe that's why I've had some weird experiences, let's just say. I don't know. But I remember when I found out that I had negative blood, and I was so upset because I always thought of myself as a very positive person. I didn't want to be negative any kind of way, even my blood. I don't want my blood to be. I didn't understand what that meant. Really wasn't wasn't explained very well to us what that really was. But let's see here. Okay, Diane says, okay, I have high blood pressure, but I think it's more to do with back pain. LOL. Cooked herself. Okay, I didn't notice that. Back pain. I got a week back. Got it about a week back. Week back. Got it about a week back. You can all use that one. It's a very good one. Use it. You will love it. Yes. Why is vitamin D so important, and cross-reference what kills vampires? That's what Jeff Carrick says. Hello, Jeff. Thanks for joining us here. Well, I made the comment, it might be my fault, but I made the comment that I never give blood. If you all give blood, keep giving blood. That's fine. I don't want everyone to do things I'm doing. I'm just telling you what I do because I'm got a lot of quirkiness. But I just imagine that they're shipping all this blood they're gathering to a bunch of vampires. And, I've thought that since I was a kid. And now look at the world with these people with the chrome with the Drino in front of it. I mean, it's not too far-fetched, right? I mean, I don't know. I get the gut feeling. I've gotten that since I was a kid. You get this gut feeling and it's always right. What is going on? Maybe that's why I look so young. Oh, thank you. Just V or Just 5. Just V. Yeah, well, I don't drink alcohol. I stopped doing that back in the early 80s when I missed a Van Halen concert and I was in the third row. I missed the whole thing because I was too blitzed on alcohol. And that's why I stopped. I'm sure you're not far off, Aaron. I don't know what that's in reference to. My back is bad also. I think it's the way our vertebrae is designed. Um, yeah, I have had a lot of back problems. When I was young, I took a lot of jobs, and a lot of the jobs I took involved lifting. And so I kind of ruined my back lifting. And I, you know, it's not because people didn't tell me to use your knees. I knew about that, but I just couldn't use my knees because I had a knee problem. I had horrible pain in my knees, and I had Osgood Schlatter's, which, and then I had something that mimics arthritis when I was young, and I couldn't play football because all my cartilage in my knees was gone. And that's why I say, I used to have two kidneys. I used to have two kidneys. Now I have two adult knees, and it's a problem. It's a big problem. Yeah, that's my kidney joke. That's my original joke. You like that? Props for sober. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Yeah. I just, I was looking so forward to seeing that Van Halen concert with David Lee Roth. Their second album had just come out, whatever year that was, 81 or 82. And I just wouldn't let this other guy in our group throw away a bottle of Southern Comfort, and I guzzled it rather than have him throw it before he went into the place. And I just, halfway through the warm-up band, I went, whoa. And I was texturizing the floor the whole time. Not good. Not good. It was bad. I was so upset with alcohol for stealing that memory from me. That's what did it for me. Plus I'm Irish. Could be a bad thing if I kept drinking. So, plus I think I'm kind of allergic to it. I get like hot and kind of like flush and uncomfortable. It's never a good time for me. It never was a good time for me, alcohol. So I think, alcohol is kind of like poison. That's why I look at it as sort of like poison. And well, thank you for saying I look young. I was born in 1962. So that makes me pretty old. And, I have a theory, maybe you've heard it before, of a theory about the origins of this pandemic. One of the co-conspirators might have been, now I have no proof of this, this is just my own imagination, and maybe it's just an elaborate dad joke, I don't know, but no, I forgot what I was going to say. Can't have too big of a build-up because you'll forget what you're going to say. Right? That's right. That is right. Oops, I can't do that. Darn it. All right. Being around drunk people while sober is the worst. Yes. Yeah, it does suck when you're around drunk people. Yeah, they call them spirits for a reason. Yeah, casting spells. Spit Spitball away, bud. Elaborate dad joke, no such thing. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess most dad jokes are one-liners. I'll give you that. Yeah. Mud Rabbit can't tolerate alcohol either. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's, I used to watch people, because I'd go hang out at clubs. I would just drink a Pepsi or a soda or a Sprite. And I'd see them just down drink after drink after drink after drink. Like, how the heck are they doing that? I mean, that's got to be hard on your body, I mean, all that alcohol going in your body. I don't know how people do that. It's just. Oh, Julie, damn, you're older than I am. I thought you were in your early 40s. Well, yeah. I'm not. I'm in my late 50s. My very late 50s. Like 59? Am I 58 or 59? Something like that. I don't even care. I don't feel like that old. Right? I don't feel that. I don't hope I don't look that old, but I'm starting to go a little bit gray, Here, if I comb my hair this way, it's all gray. If I comb my hair this way, it hides it. It's like, wow. See, my sideburns are turning gray. See that? So when I do Elvis gigs now, I got to color the sideburns and I got to, spray my hair. But other than that, that's pretty much it as far as aging goes. Oh, you're 56? Yeah. Well, see, you're not 56. You take the 5 and the 6, you add it together. You're 11. That's what I do now. I'm 14. Oh, okay. Diane, my grandma was 100% Irish. My father never introduced us to our Irish uncles. They were drunks. Yeah, the Irish, there's a lot of Irish people that like their drinks. I'm just one that it didn't mix with me. It didn't mix with me, and I never wanted to drink after that. Now I did, to be honest, full disclosure, when I was going through my divorce, right before the turn of the century, 98, I did drink some beers. I drank Hacker Shore, and I had like one beer every week or two for a couple months. But that was it, and I would only drink one bottle, took the whole night. Sometimes I couldn't even finish it, strong stuff. But after that, I just didn't drink anymore because I just, like I said, you get all hot and kind of like, but the flavor, if you all like beers, try the Hacker Shore with some lemon in it. And it's a Weiss beer. It's got this weird old portrait of an old dude on it, but it's from Germany, and it's made with the quality standards of 1516. So it's like a real original Weiss beer. So if you like that kind of stuff, try that. Let me know what you think about it. But I don't want to encourage anybody, so maybe you shouldn't. Don't support alcoholism, but I totally get it. Yeah, and the reason wasn't what you think it might be. I was going through my divorce. I was hanging out at the Bayside. My friend, who's now passed away, Billy McDonald, super guy. And his parents owned the Bayside, and he worked there, and I was there, and drinking my Sprite like I always did, no ice. And he said, "Hey, Aaron, let me get you a beer." I said, "No, I don't drink beer." I told him the story about the Van Halen concert. He said, "Well, have you ever tried a Hacker Shore?" And I said, "No." He goes, "Why don't you try one of those?" I said, "Okay." I mean, he could talk anybody into anything. He's such a nice guy, and very nice guy. He sadly passed away on his 36th birthday in a horrible car crash. And the peninsula is just not the same without him. You know, he was a very generous, wonderful guy. Dark beer is healthy. Monks drank it during fasting. Yeah, I don't think they should call it fasting. I think they should call it slowing, because if you ever fasted, time goes real slow, not fast. So I would call it slowing, because you're slowing time down. Yeah. Actually, I read somewhere you can get drunk from drinking water. You got to drink like a lot of it to get drunk, but you can get drunk from water. But I think you have to drink a dangerous amount of it. My ex-sister-in-law, not sister-in-law, yeah, my brother's ex-wife, when she was pregnant, her doctor told her to drink 4 to 8 glasses of water a day while she was pregnant. And she thought that the doctor said 48 glasses. And she called, she goes, "I'm up to 27. I can't drink anymore." Ooh. Always clarify with your doctor. Is it 4 to 8 or 48? Big difference. Big difference, right? Well, 65, add the digits together, you're 11 too. So you're the same age as the person who's 56. So 65, 56, same thing. 11. Now we'll have to all get fake IDs so we could drive, because we got this new age. We're adding our digits together. Okay, Diane says, "I stopped drinking years ago. But when I was in the Navy and stationed in Augsburg, I had so much fun. Oktoberfest rocks. Augsburg is close to Munich." Oh, that sounds like fun. Hello, Kelly George. You can drown yourself drinking too much water. Yes, you can. You can drown yourself just by 1 drop of water. It's very dangerous. Be careful, folks. Careful with that water. All right. Let me see if I have any other interesting pictures to show you. Anybody curious about anything in particular? Here's something that'll bring brighten your spirits up. What about this little guy? You like that guy? I can't remember what they call these things. They got a funny name. I can't remember, but they just have this infectious smile that I think is really quite cool. Very cool. I wonder if aliens drink beer. LOL. Maybe the Pleiadians that are related to the Germans. Yeah, could be. Look at that character. He's so funny looking. Just a happy little guy. I mean, wow. I wish I could remember the name of those little guys. I think they're from Australia. Australia has the wildest animals, don't they? A jackalope. Major face palm. I like that. I love that name, Major Face Palm. No, it's not a wombat. It's a, oh man, chupa, I can't remember. I have heard that aliens do drink alcohol. Well, that might be. I remember watching a nature movie or nature show channel years ago, and there's this herd of elephants that once a month they go up on this hill where there's a couple apple trees or many apple trees, and there's plenty of fresh apples in the tree, but they don't pick those. They pick the rotten ones on the ground, the fermented ones, and they all get drunk. But they don't do it every day. They do it like once a month. So reptilian drinking Drano? I don't know about that story. Preston Nichols? I'm not sure about that. Chupacabra. I know that's the name I keep thinking, but no, it's not Chupacabra. Chupacabra is that mythical, and not so mythical anymore. They found some carcasses of that, right? Oh, look, there's Jeff doing a major facepalm. Aaron, I would say Julie says, Aaron, you made me laugh so hard adding digits. I had to go back inside and tinkle just to be safe. 3 smiley faces, laughing, crying. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? Oh, you're crawling off to bed. Gosh, you're on late. Sorry, I fell out of touch. My Facebook page has been detonated to oblivion. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. That's what it is. Yeah, it's Quacoa. I don't know how you pronounce that. Yeah, it is getting kind of late, isn't it? Quaccas? Yeah, it's a funny name for an animal. They're funny looking animals though. I love those little guys. They're so cute. What else can I show you here? Well, here's another picture of that. No, that's not. I'm sorry. That's a video clip. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Oh, here's something interesting. I don't think I've shared on here before. This is the arms of an alien on board a ship, working the controls, some of the controls of the ship. And this was a single frame from the home movie footage of Dorothy Izat, who I've talked about here before. Dorothy Izat. So she's got footage of being on the ship with these. Now it's a home movie, so it's not very detailed, but still it's pretty cool, I think. Yeah. Oh, Diane's a night person, so she's okay with that. Josh says it's a type of Walgby. Walgby? I plead the fifth. Okay. All righty then. So that's the Dorothy Izat pictures of alien hands. I really wish it was clearer, but still it's a kind of a cool image, if indeed that it is true. Here's something. This is a screenshot from a video that I did. I did, I think, 4 or 5 videos of Queppy. Now, Queppy is inspired by Peppy, and he's a puppet. And I did some shows where he introduces memes. And in this last episode that I did, months ago, has an additional puppet in it, Quiniquesta, the white rabbit, which my friend Anna Marie helped to name. So that's Quiniquesta and Queppy. So if you're interested in seeing some Muppet-like funness, go and check out, yeah, that was Super 8. Yes, it was. Yeah, I thought the aliens flew their crafts with consciousness. Well, there's many different kinds of aliens, and I'm sure there must be some kind of controls or something that they have to do. Otherwise, they wouldn't need beings on there. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's what Dorothy said, But so I made these puppets and I put these out there. And so if you're interested in that, you like memes, go back and look in my archives. You'll see all the Queppy videos, and they're kind of fun. They're kind of fun. And let me know what you think. And if you like them, I'll do more. All right. Does that sound okay? Yeah, spelling doesn't matter. We're on the internet. Spelling is, don't worry about spelling. You never have to worry about that. Yeah, you can't modify or change Super 8 film. That's right. So she couldn't have faked any of that. Okay, so, all right. Yep. Let's see here. This is another picture that Dorothy Izat got. Now, this is, well, she'd shoot this footage, and when she'd get the film back, there'd be one frame that has all these crazy light trails on it, and sometimes it would paint a picture like this. It's like the light was painting a picture for Dorothy to see. And what's very interesting is she did a hypnotic regression. And in her hypnotic regression, she found out that she lived in the time of Atlantis and Lemuria. And she rescued these children by bringing them into a cave in somewhere near Italy. And now, if you look at the center of the picture, you can see it looks kind of like a woman standing there in the middle. And then off to the left, you can see like a group of children. So was this something that they were trying to communicate to her and to have her remember her past? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I got to say, this Dorothy Izat story, and here's the DVD, Capturing the Light, 30,000 feet of proof, 30,000 feet of footage, and lots of amazing things. And the book too, get the book by Peter Catilla, Contact with Beings of Light. My 15-year-old Chihuahua's name is Peppy. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Peppy's alpha male. But 3-year-old Lucy is a feminist, into the whole divine feminine thing. Okay, yeah. Dogs really do. the male dogs and female dogs are, you can really tell the difference. Act completely different from each other, don't they? I'm watching my son's dogs. It's a male and female, and it's supposed to be temporary. I hope you're listening, AJ. Temporary's wearing out, because I think they're gonna probably have puppies now. I think you should have your dogs if they have puppies. What do you think? I mean, I like watching them for him, but there comes a point. There comes a point. You said the documentary was only an hour long. Was the DVD longer? I don't know. I can't remember how long it is. It doesn't really say. Should it say? On the back it says, since 1974, mother and grandmother Dorothy Izat, that's I-Z-A-T-T, has been filming otherworldly images in the sky with her home movie 8mm camera. After years of psychological and technical tests, her work continues to shake logic and critics alike. Now, after 30 years of filming and armed with over 30,000 feet of film, Dorothy is ready to share her body of work with the world. Now, there needs to be a second edition of this where more comes out, more of the footage of the aliens comes out, because that should be the focus, I think, of the next movie if it comes out. I hope it does. Hey, thanks, Ralph. He says, great show. Thank you very much. Your son on vacation? No, he's not. He doesn't even have a legitimate excuse. Yeah, I don't want to go into it, but it's something. Yeah, I seem to think that it was longer than an hour. Maybe it was only an hour. I don't know. It doesn't really say. I've been more of a werewolf man myself. Okay. A werewolf man. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we can dig up here. Something interesting to keep it rolling. Here's something I drew a long time ago, back in the big 80s when I was working at Hasbro. I just did this for fun. And then recently I made it into kind of like a fake ad for Space Cowboy. What do you think of that? Like a robotic horse that you can fly into space with. Wouldn't that be cool? Of course, you'd need the gear, you know. The helmet with like a cowboy hat built in. Wouldn't that be cool? I think it would be cool. Thank you, Diane, for the very generous donation, for being awesome. Wow. Thank you very much. You rock. Wow. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. It's the anti-gravity horse for the modern space cowboy. Trot on over to your favorite spot or take your passenger to the moon. Space gear not included. How do you like that? Well, thank you. Thank you, Celestial Soul. And Ralph and Kelly, thank you. Yeah, that was a fun thing to do. Yeah, it was a marker rendering. The horse part is a marker rendering. The background is, I added the digital background later. But yeah, it was fun to do. Colored pencils and marker. and spray marker. And that was it. There was no computers back then. Actually, I was next in line at Hasbro to get a control data workstation connected to the mainframe, which was huge in the main building of Hasbro. Of course, that didn't last too long, you know. Magnetic horsepower, yeah. Pretty cool, huh? That was a fun drawing to do. I'm glad that glad I saved it. I see anti-gravity horse, all right. La 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 la. Let's see what we have here. Well. Oh boy. Here's a Queppy meme that I made. What do you think about this? And this one I just, you know, I drew Queppy and made a little meme. I like making memes. Do y'all like memes? I love memes. Memes rock. And that's how we're going to save the world, folks, is through memes. Seriously. It totally is. Because memes are, it's the whole meme magic thing. It's like so magical. It's just something else, I'm telling you. Okay. All right. We're searching for some, oh. Yeah. Oh. What looks interesting? I thought I had something good over here. I think this is a good one. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Where did it go? Here it is. Check this one out. I think this is hilarious. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh man, I just love that. That's so freaking funny. Oh my. My. Okay, EM says, Aaron, have you read Andrew's Discovery of Life on Mars? Yes, yeah, a long time ago. Okay. So Free Range Brain says memes are the way we are training the computer AI to learn nonverbal language. Well, but firstly, we're training human brains to learn important things very quickly without them even realizing they're learning it, or planting a seed without them realizing it. Whose body is that? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's Mrs. Carter's body. I think that's Rosalind's body. But of course, where Biden was, they put Putin. Like Putin's a giant compared to the small little Biden. I mean, it wasn't even close. But like I said earlier, maybe there's some new people that didn't hear this, but my theory on why the former vice president Joe Biden gave Putin a list of 16 top secret places in the United States to please not hack. Please tell your hackers not to hack these sensitive areas. I mean, it's a boneheaded thing to do, right? But I think there's a method to it, and it's not because of any intellect of Joe, but I think more likely the war hawks in the CIA and the whole war machine. So, of course, Vladimir Putin is a very smart man, and he's obviously probably not going to be doing anything to those 16 spots. For one thing, he probably already knew they were there. For the other thing, he's probably like, why the heck is he giving me this? But I think I might have figured it out. I think maybe it might be because our deep state CIA people and the FBI have programs where they can hack into something and make it look like it's coming from somewhere else, kind of like a VPN, like a forced VPN. Like, okay, I want to make this hack look like it's coming from Russia. Okay, now we're going to go and attack all of these. So they would attack these or hack these 16 sites. Now, that would might be cause enough to start a war. So that could be the backdoor way these people are trying to start a war. So it's not just Biden being dumb and giving them a list of 16 places not to hack. It might be a trap, a war trap. That's what I'm saying. What do you think? Yeah, Jeff says, I'm just thinking everything we see is potentially BS. Yeah, right. We're watching a movie. It could be fiction, right? Putin is short, but yeah. Yeah, but Biden, okay, so Mud Rabbit says, but when the Bidens visited the Carters, that pic had to be fake. Yeah, I don't think they visited the Carters, people. I don't think they were there. It looked totally fake. There's no way that Biden could appear that big to Rosalind and Biden's wife that big compared to Jimmy. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Candace Owens should be president. Yeah, she's pretty cool, you know. I really like her a lot. She's thinking about running for some kind of office. So that would be great. I think she could really tear things up. And you know, I think the best Republicans are former Democrats because, you know, I think that's, I'm a former Democrat. I wouldn't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat. I would consider myself an American. And I think we should all be Americans, and just people should run on ideas, not on bogus platforms. Where is the fake Biden Carter thing? It's a picture like that one I just showed, but it shows both Jimmy and Rosalind with both of the Bidens. And it was very similar to that picture. Want me to go on the internet and look it up? It's been all over. I mean, you could just, my buddy Google keeps it right on hand. Just a couple keywords and you can find it, no problem. But yeah, I don't think I have it in my little storeroom here of shots. Here's something, I think I've shared this before, but in case you missed it, this is from the Battle of LA, where they actually got two crafts. One crashed in the ocean, one crashed in the mountains. But this one, they couldn't touch it. And I took that picture with all the spotlights. This was 1942 over LA. It was called the Battle of LA. And it was more than one craft. There was hundreds of craft, maybe thousands, maybe hundreds of craft. William Tompkins was witness to it, and he said there were a lot of them. And nobody was afraid. They couldn't alter the trajectory of these things. They couldn't bring them down. Apparently one did crash in the ocean. I don't think people saw that crash, though. They did recover it. So they've had alien craft since 1942. And the one in the ocean was a drone, an unmanned craft. And the other one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that one. So yeah, it's very interesting, the Battle of LA. And I increased the contrast on the right to parse out that shape a little more. And it does look like a classic saucer shape, doesn't it? Not like a weather balloon, which is what they claimed the next morning. Oh, 1,500 rounds of anti-aircraft firing and you couldn't bring down a balloon? I think that also I found out later that they had very few airplanes. So they couldn't scramble the airplanes because they had very few of them. And they didn't want to lose the last few planes that they had until they knew exactly what it was. And they just used the anti-aircraft firing instead. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Indeed. Let's see what's going over here at the chat. Yeah, Jimmy Carter is 5'9", Jill is. Well, I don't think Jimmy Carter's 5'9" anymore. I mean, people do shrink, but they don't shrink as massively as that picture shows. Awesome balloon survival kit skills. Yeah, that's right. What about the Malibu underground entrance? I'm not sure that is an underground entrance. I know it kind of looks like pillars, but it also kind of looks natural. I mean, I don't think that's definitive. Oh, wow. Julie had a dream about spaceships everywhere, nowhere to hide, even in the woods. Still remember that. Wow. And you met Richard Dolan and his wife, Mud Rabbit. I used to like Richard Dolan. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, Sopranos fan, you say you like Dolan, Ryan, and Tompkins. Who's Ryan? Is that Paul Ryan from Carrie Cassidy fame? The guy with the sweaty hat? The sweaty cowboy hat? Gatekeeper, yeah. All these people who, you know, they're semi-famous and they're always around, those are gatekeepers. They don't get on TV unless they're a gatekeeper. All right. They just watch that very closely. Gatekeepers. That's right. Because when Corey Good called for unity in the community, because none of us has all the answers, and if we want to get the answers, the full disclosure and the truth, we all got to work together, put all of our differences aside, all of our petty differences aside, and work together for full disclosure. And what happened after that was all the shills came out and they attacked him, and all the people attacking him, including one of the people that was just mentioned a little while ago. Yeah. So that's the deep state assets. They're deployed. They, you know, I don't like saying bad things about anybody because that's one of the signs of a shill. So I try not to, but sometimes it slips out. I can't help it. I just think that anybody who would, you know, unity in the community is the only way we're going to get disclosure. If we're all unified, one unified voice, we want the truth. And to stand up against that, to prevent unity in the community, to purposely prevent it, that's horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but yeah. There was and I mentioned this in one of my other shows, there was one of these meetings where they had, what do you call them, symposiums. And there was a panel up there. There was an audience, and it was all being taped. I saw the videotape of it. And William Tompkins was up there in the panel, and Corey Good was up there. And one of these other guys who was mentioned earlier was lambasting Corey for not having any evidence. And this was right after William Tompkins came out verifying much of Corey's story. So for him to attack him that viciously in front of everybody on camera, I just couldn't believe it. My opinion of that guy went so far down into the toilet, I just had to flush it. And there's no redeeming after that. Dolan argued a lot with Andy. Oh, I can bet. Yeah. See, he's not an experiencer. He's a gatekeeper. And there's no way writing one book the day after disclosure is going to keep you all your bills paid. So somebody's paying his bills. So who is it? It's the cabal. He's a gatekeeper. Let's just say it. He's a gatekeeper. I'll just say it. I'll put it out there. I don't like saying bad things about people, but he's just so obvious. And I hate that because I used to like the guy, you know? But the old guard hates the new SSP kids. Yes, they do. They hate anybody who's experienced something because they have a one-up on them. Yeah, ego check. Yeah. I remember I was friends with, what was it? Karen Dolan was his wife, but then they got divorced. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I can imagine that he would argue with Andy. He argues with anybody who's had an experience because he hasn't. And I think that's the only way he can build himself up is by knocking other people down, which that's a bad way to make friends. It's a very bad way. You know, if he really was for the truth, he wouldn't be so negative about. And his big beef was, oh, you got no proof. You got no proof. Well, William Tompkins came forward and testified that he was aware of a lot of the things that Corey was talking about, the 20 and back program, solar warden, everything. That's evidence. That's another witness. Not good enough for Dolan. But if you're in the secret space program, let's just say, for sake of argument, that there is a secret space program, and what Corey Goode and others have said is true, or mostly true. So, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't call, okay, Sopranos fan, I wouldn't call Dolan a gatekeeper. Really? Really? He's the only Corey Goode was the only person ever to call for unity in the community. And Dolan squashes him, feebly tries to. Yeah, that showed right there, showed me, right? Without a doubt, he's a deep state shill. And I lost all respect for the guy. Academically programmed. That's a shill. Academically programmed. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what else? Some YouTubers or some influencers might also be shills and not even know it, because they might have a Patreon person who's giving them lots of money and saying, oh, could you not talk about this? Or could you talk about that, steering them different directions. Yeah, I just have, well, when I see there's like a get together and he's one of the guys, I don't want to go. I can't look at the guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I just think that when Corey called for unity in the community, I really, it resonated so good with me. And I thought, this is it. That's what we got to do. We got to join together, put all our differences aside. Flat Earth people, everything. And then we'll get the truth. It made so much sense to me. It was a beautiful idea. They had to squash it. And it wasn't just Dolan, it was all of those people. And they just don't want full disclosure. They want this drip, drip, drip. Oh, we found water on Mars for the 99,000th time, but we're going to pretend again like it's the first time. No, we want it all. We want full disclosure, darn it. Okay. It's just like politics. Yes, and that's what they do, divide and conquer. So, yeah, maybe I'm dividing by saying that, and I apologize, but you got to call a spade a spade. I mean, you got to drain the swamp in the truther community and out these people, because they are, that's what they are. Aaron, you know that even Andy has had trouble with Corey's story. I believe both of them, but I'm just saying, yeah, I believe both of them too. And to clarify what Andy said, and I don't like saying what other people say, but I've heard him say it a lot of times. He believes that Corey is an experiencer. His belief is that he thinks that Corey is an experiencer, and he's being honest, but he thinks that due to the show that he was on, that some of the later stuff that he added to his story might be just added for color. Now, I don't believe that. That's not what I believe, but that's just what he said. But he does believe overall that that he is an experiencer, and he does believe his accounts. Most of his original accounts, he does believe. So, oh, Operation Shutdown says, I appreciate giving your honest opinion, Aaron. Well, thank you. Thank you, Operation Shutdown. I appreciate that. And Jeff says they're incapable of telling the truth. Yeah, it seems that way. Carl Sagan told Richard C. that he was on the right track. Carl Sagan knew. Yeah, he might have known. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Would the government do itself in? No, they wouldn't. Okay. But Diane, where did that response come from? I'm not sure. I think I missed a previous post or chat. Yes, Julie, I agree. Corey is way too credible for lies. Look into his eyes. Look in his eyes. Yes, he comes across as a very honest guy. And I interviewed him. In fact, that was my first interview on Truth Quest. Go back and look at my interview with him. Aaron, you should watch Aaron and Andy having that argument. Aaron and Andy? It was truly an amazing battle of intellects because the two are very smart. I'm not sure. Aaron, you should watch Aaron and Andy having an argument. I'm not sure if that's really what you meant to say. What's the difference between the government? What's the difference between the government and the mafia? The spelling. Am I right? Even Dolan admits that Andy is brilliant. Yeah, I'm not saying everything Dolan says isn't true or isn't good. I'm just saying he attacked the only guy who ever called for unity in the community in a very fragmented community, a purposely fragmented community. They've been attacking this community forever. That's where the flat earth comes from. And I got to show my flat earth meme. I'm sorry, but I just have to. I'll find it here. I've shown this before, but maybe there's some new people that haven't seen it. And if there's a person who hasn't seen it yet, then my goodness, they need to see this. Because yeah, it's cool as a moose. Okay, well, let's see if this is going to show up. Alrighty then. We're going to do the magical screen share. Here is my answer to the flat earthers. Yes, it's the flat dog theory. I say the dog is flat. I say the dog is dog-shaped. The flat dog theory. They have members all around the dog. Just like the flat earthers have members all around the globe. All around the dog. But that's how ridiculous their argument is. We're just fleas on the earth. It really doesn't matter what shape the earth is. It's actually kind of oval shaped because it's spinning and it's like wider at the equator, right? That's my flat earth meme. What do you think of that? You might have already seen it, but for those who haven't seen it, there it is. I just thought I'd put it out there and refresh everyone's memory of the flat dog theory. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. I like that one. Good night, Mud Rabbit. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here too, fellas and gals, guys and gals. Aaron, any opinion about Michael Wolff and his theories? Take care, Mud Rabbit. I don't know Michael Wolff. Sorry. If I do, I'm blanking it out right now. And Mud Rabbit says, I'm going to bow out here, 1:30 a.m. to me. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Aaron. Great show as always. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Oh, and Diane, you like my meme. Thank you so much. First time seeing Flat Dog Theory. Oh, and you like it. Thanks, Julie. Yeah, I'm glad that you like it. Yeah, now I can't take full credit because I didn't draw it. I just took an image of two fleas and I added the words to it. So that's how I made that one. Sometimes I do all the drawing of a meme, but other times I don't. Yeah, the flat map is for tactical application. Yeah. Thank you for the stream tonight, Aaron. You're welcome, Operation Shutdown. I'm glad you came. Remember, share this out, tell your friends, look at some of my past shows. I'm starting to upload them onto Rumble too. So I'm on Rumble as well. So look me up on Rumble, Truth Quest on Rumble, Aaron Moriarty. And I've got some of my old episodes on there. I'm going from 1 all the way up. I think I'm up to 12 now. I'm going to get them all on there. It takes a while to move them all on there. But I think I got 3 subscriptions there so far. And one of those subscriptions is me. So 2. Thanks, Jeff. You think it's a good, thanks for another fascinating show. Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much, everybody. And I'm so glad that you liked our little show today. I want to wish you all a good night. I hope you all sleep well. I hope you have a really good dream. And thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you. And thank you for everybody who donated. That's very awesome. I'm very grateful to you. And thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to doing this again. We never know when we're going to pop up and do a live stream. So keep your eyes open. And hopefully you'll get the notification. Hit the bell. Remember to like and share. Check out my Rumble channel. And also, every Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. Central Time, right here in this channel, we do a 2-hour live show, a live call-in show with Andrew DiBisciago. Yes, the famous Andrew DiBisciago. So that's something very, very cool. What's the name on Rumble? Let me see. Let me check it here. Where is it? Here it is. Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. And here is, let's see, episode. Here's the link for episode 7, okay? I just happen to have that up there. Let me see if this link will transfer. There is episode 7. You can see one of my older shows and how I used to do them. It's got a cool intro. And I did a lot of the art in the intro, so I worked real hard on that. So I hope you like the Rumble channel. Please subscribe, share it with your friends, and we'll get all the shows on there. I still have to talk to Andy, see if he wants to have his own Rumble channel. We'll see if he wants to do that. So on the Truth Quest, it's just going to be the Truth Quest shows for now. And we'll see. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on this quest for truth. You are the Truth Questers. So thank you so much for questing for the truth, for being Truth Questers along with me here. Together we'll figure it out. We'll root out the shills. We'll figure this mess out, and we'll move on to the next level. So thank you very much. Until next time, we'll see you again out on the web. Peace in.